Hello, Ruby. We are back here again. And this episode, I think, is truly needed from our previous episode about side chick cycles, side piece syndrome. I feel every woman needs to know this so you do not enter into that particular toxic cycle that I don't wish on any women. I'm going to give you 5 conditions as a Ruby to never date under. Whilst you are forming like a Ruby, whilst the pressure, the heat, the polishing, the coming together of the elements, whilst you are in that particular phase, there are 5 particular phases. I would never recommend you to start dating or looking for a romantic interest until you are fulfilled and full in all of these areas. So these are going to be my top 5 secrets, especially when you're healing, elevating, and rebuilding. First things first, do not date when you are lonely. You're not ready. When you're lonely, you're not ready. Loneliness lies to you. When a woman is lonely, you start to settle, you start to get in a comfort zone, and that's in every area of your life. It will start to make you feel like the bare minimum treatment that men and women give you is love. I want you in this moment when you are lonely to not choose comfort over clarity. At a particular phase in your life, you're going to learn how to be by yourself because it's going to give you clarity. If you are always in somebody's face, get out of their face. I think I had a podcast episode about that at some point. Get out of people's face and really get into your face. Go and look in the mirror and focus on clarity for every season of your life. When you are lonely, this is the best time to work on your confidence. This is the best time to clarify what you want in your life. This is the best time to rekindle areas of your life where you truly want to focus on getting that particular goal or achievement. This is the time for you to fall back in love and start to grow the faith again in the things that you once wanted, but then you allow life to tell you that you don't deserve it or you can never get it. Never date when you are lonely. You're not ready. The second thing that I would tell a woman to do as a Ruby, especially when you're healing, elevating, and rebuilding. Do not date when you are still healing from somebody else. Do not. Do not bring your brokenness to a new man, hoping that he will patch it up. Because it can go 2 ways. You're going to lose a good man, or you're going to find a man that's going to take advantage of you. That's not love. That is called emotional outsourcing. Heal first, love later. When you date whilst you're trying to heal, you trauma bond with people's brokenness. Then you try to fix that because deep down inside and subconsciously you want to fix yourself. So you use that person as emotional output to fix what needs to be done in you. When you are still healing from somebody, take the time to be by yourself. Do not date. The third thing I would tell a woman to do, one of the circumstances to never date under, is when you are financially depending on a man. Until you have financial stability, do not date. You shouldn't be focused on sex if your money ain't right. Ruby, I'm going to say it again. You should not be focused on sex unless your money is right. It's not a priority. Pleasure should not be a priority when you are in poverty. Pleasure should not be a priority when, if something happens in the next 3 to 6 months, you are in poverty. You are impoverished. Don't date when you have to be financially depending on somebody else, because when it's time to walk away, you won't be able to walk away. You will start to be not in relationships for traps. You need to build your bag, then build a bond with a man. Freedom is the foundation of real love. Freedom. The freedom to choose. To not date if you cannot financially take care of yourself. Because when it's time to walk away, you're not going to walk away. From experience, I have been in times where I could not walk away from a really bad relationship because I was dependent on this person financially. And sometimes men are not going to be always good to you, and they will capitalize on treating you poorly as an ego boost because they know that you can't leave. They know that you can't leave, so they throw it in your face. And you have to suck it up because you didn't figure out how to build a bag before you build a bond. You don't need penis. You need to get your pennies right before you think about penis. Number 4, when you are starved for validation, if your worth depends on people's attention or his attention, you'll mistake obsession for affection. You need to learn how to date from overflow and not lack. You're not begging, you are choosing. Do not date when you're looking for validation. Until you can validate yourself as a woman, do not date. Until you are content that somebody telling you pretty, telling you that, oh my gosh, you are such a pretty woman, is not enough for you to lay down all your cards for that person. Don't date. Comments are flattering, but they need to roll off of your back like water. You need to walk into dating knowing that if somebody says I'm pretty, you could say, yeah, I know, thank you. It shouldn't get you big-headed. When women start to date for validation, you're going to start bending the boundaries, I promise you. Because the person who gives you the most validation, that's going to be the one that you want to prove the most for. And then sometimes when you're proving, it isn't ethical to do. That's how persons end up in, the parties in Dubai. Because you want validation and you want money. So I will tell you this. Do not date until you are completely confident and unshakable in your confidence. Number 5, do not date. And this is the most important one, when you haven't defined what you want yet. Because then you're going to accept everything. That is the stupidest way to sort through life. Until you are definite on what you want, don't go out sourcing trying to figure out what it is that you want from what you don't want. If you know that you want to live on a farm, then you will date men with wealth that can purchase you a farm, or you're going to date somebody that can meet you halfway because you can meet yourself halfway for the farm. If you already know that you're going to be a corporate woman, you're not going to date somebody that's not working. Do not date if you haven't truly defined the life that you want, because you can get so distracted that you try to live out another man's dream and completely forget about yours. You will start to pour more into his fantasies and his dreams and his goals and his aspirations and forget yours. So you have to always know what it is that you want before you go and date, because unclear standards will have you entertaining confusion. I'm going to say it again. Unclear standards will have you entertaining confusion. You need to write your vision. You need to know your non-negotiables. And a woman who knows what she wants is dangerous in the best way possible. Men cannot play with you. So when you see a puppy, in my country, they say something along the lines is, when you play with puppy, they will lick your mouth. When you realize that you found somebody that wants to play puppy games, you walk away because you're not going to give them an opportunity to lick your mouth so you can clean your face. No. Know what you want. Know the money you want, the job you want, the business you want, the man you want. Because when you know what you want, it's much easier to determine what you do not want. Date when you are full, not when you are fragile. That's the only way you're going to protect yourself as a woman. Those are the 5 conditions to never date under. And if you have a problem in any of those areas, I will tell you fix it and then start to date again. All right, girlie? I'll see you next time. Bye.